Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Locker Room Talk Uncut. Drew Garrison, Chad Penrod in the locker room. Today we're going to discuss the NBA playoffs that are off and rolling, the battle going on in the Big Ten when it comes to fall sports, recap of what DC says was his final fight on UFC 252 this past weekend, touch on the Bengals and Browns, training camps are rolling, and then get into some division previews here as we approach the NFL season about 4 weeks away. So, Lakers in trouble, Clippers in trouble, what's going on in the NBA, all that good stuff. So let's get this thing rolling, man. So let's start right here with what's happening down the street in Cincinnati and I guess up the street in Berea or Cleveland. Training camp kicking off, man. I know we've been in here a couple times and we're a little iffy. We're getting an NFL season.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're getting all 17 weeks, and I think we're getting the playoffs. I think we're getting the Super Bowl. I think we might have fans come Super Bowl time. That's for a different day.
After the election.
But the one thing is, the biggest thing is our team's going to get there? I mean, are we going to have players to get there? Not because of Corona, but the fucking Browns and Bengals can't stay healthy, man.
I did see that Sean Williams was back on the rehab field today, so
so it wasn't big.
I don't know why he was carted off.
Well, that's typical Sean Williams. Me and you always talk about this. Bengals fans, you got to watch, man. Watch every 36. Game. Watch Sean Williams. He will go down probably 2-3 times a game, but he's not really hurt.
He's always backing like a play or two.
He just needs a breather, man.
Well, this has been a running joke between us for like 2 years. So he didn't participate, and I don't see him participating in the Bengals scrimmage. But usually when you see a guy carted off after a non-contact injury, it's bad. So looks like, he's at least back on the rehab field, so he should probably be all right. But, man, Mack Wilson for your Browns, one sucks.
Yeah. And on that, too, Mack Wilson's definitely going to miss some time.
I don't know how did it come out how severe it was. I know at first they were talking about
if you watch the video, dude, it's he got hyperextended it really bad. So the word came out today. We don't know yet. We don't know yet because there's a lot of swelling in the knee.
Gotcha.
But what they think is going to happen is it's not going to need surgery, and he's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks.
That does stink. They're thin at linebacker.
They are, but we got a month before the season starts. So maybe he misses, just the first couple weeks, because we're still a month out. That's going to be 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, I guess you just see how it goes. And actually here, right as we started recording the show here about 5 minutes ago, Browns are bringing in former Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith.
They need to bring in linebackers anyway. I think that they were just going to go with the formula of Mack Wilson, and I think it's so hard to Taki. But they need to bring in some vets here, man. They
perfect.
Why not at this point? I'm not a big Burfict fan, but why not at this point? We need linebackers.
He's really good.
You just actually told me Malcolm Smith, which would be probably a pretty good signing. We just need people that can get in there and play linebacker. But yeah, so Mack Wilson, it appears to be 6 to 8 weeks to as much as the year if surgery is needed. It looks like they're kind of leaning towards the 6 to 8 weeks. But like I said, could be season. Obviously, Andrew Billings isn't going to make I don't even know if he's technically still a Brown. I think the contract might just be void.
Because it was a 1 year deal, right?
Yeah,
and he opted out.
So so
I know he gets like $150,000.
Yeah, and
does that carry over? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I know the coaches were talking about him. And they just said, they think it's actually a big loss because they've had him as the rotation piece, and me and you talk about here more than anybody I know. We talk about the depth of defensive line and the rotations. You need a good rotating defensive line.
Yeah, and the Bengals look like they lost another defensive tackle with Josh. I think it's Topu opted out,
who was actually supposed to make the team.
Yeah, he started a couple games last year, and now Rennell Wren a couple days ago carted off. I think they're expecting him to be out for the whole season. So,
and not to mention out there, man, we got to throw him in it because it's an injury. AJ Green,
hamstring
tweaked his hamstring.
T. Higgins too.
Yeah, T. Higgins injury. So how bad is the AJ? Is it? I don't appear to be bad at all.
It doesn't sound bad,
but with AJ, you never know.
Yeah, that's
you just never know.
Say.
Is it a
hamstring? The ankle wasn't that bad last year,
right? Or was it about the money? You just don't know. And just yesterday, and people don't realize this yet, but the Browns' nickel corner, Kevin Johnson, that they just picked up from Buffalo, he was actually a first-round pick, and he come to Cleveland, and I know it's just training camp, but, dude, the Browns have a training camp live. I'm not sure if the Bengals do or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So the Browns go live on a lot of their training camps, here early. So the one guy that stuck out has been Kevin Johnson in the nickel. I mean, he's breaking up shit. He's been intercepting a lot of balls. It's just
how bad's his injury?
So somebody lands on him and lacerates his liver.
Oh shit!
He has a lacerated liver. He's actually still in the hospital. And he's going to be there another 24 hours. Now they're saying this is probably season ending because it says anywhere from 2 to 6 months.
Oh yeah.
So it would appear that might be it for him, which sucks.
It's like an internal body injury.
Yeah, I mean that's a bad one. I mean it's apparently it's worse than a lacerated kidney. So neither one of them sound good when you cut your fucking liver, your kidney, or any of that. But like I said, man, hopefully our teams can make it. I mean, I'm excited for this football season. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good stuff coming out about Burrow and Cincinnati. And I said this on my Twitter. I've changed my Twitter name. It is now Drew_LRT for.
I got to do something like that to mine or something.
Well, I'm just trying to duck. I don't want certain people to find me. But I said this actually earlier today, and I ended up seeing some things afterward. But there's been all this praise of Burrow. He looks great. He's so confident. The guys gravitate to him and all that. That's great. You want to hear that. But I said I want to hear about him fucking up.
Yeah,
and how he responds.
You're talking about when he went to
Bynes. Well, I said that, and then I started seeing like that happen today. It was kind of weird, the timing, but yeah, they were doing red zone drills, and it looked like, or I don't even know if it was red zone. They were doing 7-on-7s. He threw a pick to Josh Bynes, 10-year vet, been around a lot, and then followed up with 2 really nice deep balls, one to Tyler Boyd and one to Mike Thomas. Not that Mike Thomas. And then, they said that after practice, he walked up to Bynes. He was like, okay, man, like, how'd you pick me off? What let you know I was going there with the ball to learn from it?
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's great. All this positive stuff is cool, but, like, as a realistic, it's like he's a rookie.
He's a rookie. He's
behind
going to
a
make
bad
mistakes.
line.
Yeah.
And I guess he had a pretty shaky Wednesday. It started to come out, and he looked better today. But so I'm like, all right, this positive stuff's sweet, but show me where he's fucking up, and let's see how he responds to it, because that's what's going to happen.
And this is what you and I agree on this subject is what's going to hurt Burrow is the no preseason games.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the team can get at him, and the Bengals, especially the secondary, the Bengals should be good in the secondary. But these guys can't hit.
Well, I don't know. The Bengals might. I mean, they just spent all that money on fucking Trey Waynes. Lost him.
Yeah, that's another injury. So Trey Waynes is out for. He's going to miss at least half the season, isn't he?
I don't think he's going to. I think
they said he has a chance to come back at the end.
This happened to William Jackson III. His rookie year, he tore the pec muscle. And I think it was like late November, early December, he was cleared to return. They ended up bringing back Cedric Pearman for special teams and stuff. So I think he's going to have a shot late in the season, but essentially
it probably
the whole
just depends where the Bengals are at.
I mean, a lot of it will.
This is the same injury that ended the Joe Thomas's record when he tore his pec. So
yeah, his consecutive snap record or whatever.
Yeah. So.
And they should be fine. William Jackson III's underrated. He's going to be good. Darius Phillips is probably going to step up and play the outside because Mackenzie Alexander, good slot corner. I think he'll be an upgrade over Denard. But Phillips was streaky, man. He was iffy when he got in last year in limited runs. So even that injury has hit him. And going back to Burrow, I mean, no preseason, man. And fuck Barstool.
What'd Barstool do?
I saw it was a picture of a video. So, somebody posted a video and they screenshotted it.
Oh, where he's getting chased by the entire defense?
It was a fucking scramble drill, man. Come on. That was set up that way, but
it's the Bengals, man. It's the Bengals, the Browns. Welcome to my world.
No, I'm with you. And I told you the other day, I don't know, we were talking at some point. I said, dude, Colin Cowherd's a fucking idiot, isn't he?
He just goes on his spurts.
They're just showing
wants to pick on
Burrow in shorts throwing balls. Like, oh, that ball's low. That doesn't look good. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out
I
of
will say
here.
this, though, because of where I'm from, and I do follow a lot of Bengals fans, how comes they nut after every Burrow throw? It'd be like a just no defense, and Burrow hit his receiver, and everyone nuts.
I think at first it's like, okay, show me Burrow throwing the ball to AJ. I want to see that. I know it's no pads and all that, but after a while, I think it was just everybody's wanted Burrow for so long. I was on the Burrow train in September last year when he beat Bama, or maybe October. So I think it's everybody wanted him for so long, and it's this big rebirth. Dalton's gone, blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Burrow Photoshop, like holding the Lombardi trophy and shit going around. I'm like, I get it. I'm probably as excited as anybody.
Can we win a game first?
Yeah, like I was as excited as anybody about Burrow, as you know. Like I was sold, I was in. But let's slow down a little bit. Let's let him play because I mean, dude, look at the start of the season.
In a little bit because I do follow some Bengals reporters and. It's been a few days, but I know they're at the early stages of training camp. Man, it was all about the defense, and the one thing that they were hitting on big was the offensive line doesn't look good at all. They were saying the offense
didn't do anything.
Well, I just knew you were. I know you're optimistic about it. You said you were optimistic about the line. Maybe that's just because you get Jonah Williams.
No,
back.
I don't think I said. I said they are. I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well,
the team was very optimistic.
They said that the defense is really getting after Burrow. He's having to scramble a lot, which that isn't a good thing. Well, but it isn't a good thing. Like,
no, it's not good at all.
Coming in for a rookie quarterback happened to run for his life. But we'll see. Another thing here too, man, and the Browns just. Like you said, brought in Malcolm Smith. I also seen they brought in Robert Landers today because of the Billings. Not
Landers from Ohio State.
Yep.
Like went to Miamisburg. Landers for a little bit.
I think doesn't he have I think there's a brother.
His brother at UD played basketball.
Yeah. So Landers.
But Landers went to Miamisburg too. My girlfriend knows him.
So from Ohio, he was actually in the Browns today doing a workout. We do need another defensive tackle with Billings.
He was a little small. I was wondering if he didn't get a shot.
That was the thing. He was small, so. I don't know if the long arms are getting after him or what, but obviously we need some depth there. And
he went right here.
But that's the thing for the Browns and Bengals. We are getting a lot of injuries, but free agency is still open. There's still a lot of players out there.
Yeah, the uncertainty of everything. Like
there's still offensive line for the Bengals. There's still linebackers.
I don't think they're doing it. I mean, they should. I just don't think they are. I've heard that Jonah Williams has looked pretty good, but he's not the whole line.
Right. I mean, he's one person on the left side.
It's like we said, man. Like, okay, so Jonah Williams' first NFL game is a regular season game. Burrow's first regular season game your NFL game is a regular season game, and you start off with fucking Joey Bosa, and then you play Myles Garrett on a short week right after that. Yeah. So welcome to the fucking league.
Yeah, welcome to the NFL. But off of Myles Garrett actually tweaked his hamstring and. Today was his first time practicing all training camp. So I just hate these fucking training camp.
Oh, they suck. They're the worst. And Zach Taylor said that like everything seems fine with AJ. He's like, I've seen enough out of AJ for the whole training camp if that's how it came down. Well, so it should be okay. But like you said, man, with him, you never know.
And Chubb gets a concussion. I mean, it just piles on for the Browns and the Bengals, man.
it seems that way.
You hit free agency. So let's switch this over here, man. Had a party at my house, man. My birthday party. We all was feeling pretty good, But
that was the drunkest I've been in a while. I felt like shit the next day.
The biggest thing, though, man. UFC 252. Stipe versus DC. There's a lot of. It was like two guys that pretended to like each other, but they're professionals to me. Like I don't think they really like each other. It was a fight for the best heavyweight in the world or ever, the best heavyweight ever. And Stipe pretty much whooped his ass, in my opinion, for probably 4 of the 5 rounds.
From what I remember, yeah. We both got in a little social media heat over it. You got banned from Twitter for pretty much telling DC was being a bitch.
I didn't see DC go up to Stipe at the end and shake his hand or nothing because whenever DC loses, like every time he loses to John, he loses to Stipe, he's either crying or pouting. It's just like, dude, come on. Grow up.
I got a warning from Facebook because I got on our Locker Room Talk Uncut page and went live for the main event, and they stopped my live feed, and I got a thing that said it was like a warning, so I can't do that anymore.
We were trying to give it to the people.
I was heavy on the claws that night, ladies and gentlemen.
So Stipe ends up winning that best heavyweight in the world. I don't think there's any discussion on that. So now we're looking forward to Izzy and Paulo Costa, and then after that you got Khabib and Justin Gaethje.
That's what, October 24th?
The UFC just keeps pumping on, man. So
Yeah, that's what, October 24th, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that'll Khabib and Gaethje is gonna be nice.
I can't wait to see that.
That's two fucking bad dudes.
I'm ready for that, and that's October 20-something.
24th, I think.
23rd, 24th, something like that. I can't wait for that fight.
Yeah, so that one's gonna be good too. So lots of good going on there. But what's really popping off, man, is we have pro sports playoffs.
Yes, sir.
We have NBA playoffs.
I've been waiting
happening
to talk about this because we went in here last week, with just the way the world is right now, it's hard to get in here every week. So when we come in, we want to have a lot to talk about. But when we came in here 2 weeks ago, the playoffs hadn't even started yet. And now they've started. We're in round 1. A lot of game 2s were today.
You got one going on right now.
Got one going right now between the Thunder and the Rockets. We got your
Russell
Lakers
Westbrook.
and Portland here at 9. Last night we had Mavs and Dallas. But let's start right here, Drew. All right. What are you seeing? Everything's just different, right? Like LeBron said it. He said everything's just different without fans.
Fuck that.
No, I agree. It's basketball. But it is different. There's no home court advantage.
It's different. There's no home court, and I think that they said actually there could be like an advantage to the road team because they get to pick which basket they're shooting at in the fourth quarter. For real. It's like down by their bench or whatever. But I mean, it's weird. Don't get me wrong.
What is your biggest takeaway so far? This at the early start of these playoffs. What is your biggest takeaway? Like, if you could say one thing about the playoffs right now, what would you say?
I'm just glad they're here.
Well, you're glad to hear, but as far as the play on the court, what do you think?
Well, I mean, nobody plays defense, but that's the NBA for you.
Right.
I mean, honestly, one of the better defensive games was the Lakers-Blazers for Game 1, and we'll get into that later. But, I mean, I enjoy it. They start at 1:30. I'm lucky enough that I work from home, so I can, while I'm working, throw my TV on, watch some playoff hoops. I've enjoyed it, to be completely honest with you. They started off with a hell of a game. That Jazz and Nuggets game, that first Game 1.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell was out of his mind.
So was Jamal Murray.
Yeah, which is kind of frustrating. I don't like him. But, I mean, it's weird. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely not the playoff basketball that we're used to. But, like, LeBron is like, I'm not going to lie, it's different. It's hard to get up for the game when there's no fans there. Like, no, dude. It's the fucking playoffs. Get up for the game. You're the GOAT or whatever they're trying to say you are.
You're the reason why there's even a playoff bubble.
Yeah, it's all for him because he's running out of chances. So it's like, I get that there's a difference, but I don't want to hear a pro player that makes $35 million a year say, well, it's hard for me to get into it because there's no fans here. Right. Like, dude, this is the fucking playoffs. This is the legacy that you care so fucking much about.
Right.
By the way, what happened to the fucking days when LeBron would go to the playoffs and what was it, 0, dark 30, 23 or whatever the fuck it was?
Either or.
He wouldn't, no Twitter, no Instagram, none of that shit. He would lock in for the playoffs. Where's that? Because now he's putting out shitty fucking Toon Squad uniforms on his Instagram and like a picture of him reading a book. And like, I understand there was a message behind the book, like, and
someone's not locked in.
So it's like, where's that?
He'd rather tell Donald Trump how bad he's doing and then focus on the game. Just saying.
And yeah, so it's like, and I get it, man. You got your beliefs. Use your platform however you please. But LeBron James, that I know, would just be like, nothing matters right now but the playoffs. I'm locking in. And I understand it's an interesting time in the world and all of that shit. But he's so worried about this legacy and so worried about catching Jordan or winning a championship with a third team and all that. But he's not doing that laser-focused lock-in like he was. I don't give a fuck if it's an empty gym or not.
I'll say this in his defense. Game 1 couldn't have got any better for him individually.
He played a great game. What
was it, 26, 17, and 16?
He set some sort of record. Yeah. I know that. Some kind of playoff record.
I know it was over 20 points, over 15 rebounds, over 15 assists.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. He had a great game, but I'm not knocking him.
He played great. Outside of shooting the 3 that none of them can do.
What the fuck, dude? I saw a stat, and I should have. If you see me liking
like
weird,
5 of 32 from 3-point, is that what
and that was bad. But like even on their open looks, like defenders 4 feet further, like 4 feet away from them or further, their number was just fucking terrible. So on a second unit that needs scoring, I'm just going to dive into the Lakers here because I'm probably going to bitch tonight on Twitter. Follow me, but
it's pretty funny because we'll go back to that later. But okay,
I just don't. I don't understand why Dion Waiters is there, and he played like 3 minutes. Like, and your second unit needs scoring, and he did pretty damn good in the seeding game. Where's it going to come from?
My biggest thing is this: you have shooting on the team, but you're shooting sitting on the fucking bench. Where's J.R. Smith?
Danny Green can't hit the fucking broadside of a barn, dude. Pull him and put JR in. How could it couldn't get worse? It literally couldn't get worse.
Yeah.
So put somebody else in there and see if they can get it going that night.
We're going to stay on the Lakers here, but let me tell
Fuck Danny Green.
Let me tell you my biggest surprise to myself. It's not to anybody else. It's a surprise that I had myself because we've been in here, we've had our predictions and all this and that. Here's my biggest surprise, and here's what I'm thinking at this point. We came in here thinking, all right, the winner of the Western Conference Finals between the Lakers and the Clippers are probably going to win. We said that's probably the championship. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe you had the Bucks, but we weren't really sure.
You picked the Raptors to go to the finals, didn't you?
Yeah, that's my new team as far as who I think is going to win. My biggest takeaway so far, and I know we're only game in, but after seeing these regular season games, because you only get 8, so they're like, oh, anybody can flip a switch. Bullshit.
That's not
true right in this season.
In this situation.
Last season or any other season when you get 82 games, okay.
Yeah, the last 8 games of a regular season when you've got shit sewn up.
After you've played 70 already.
Yeah, no, this is they
different.
haven't
You
played
played
4
8
months.
games. They each had 8 games.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway is this. I'm not sure that there's an LA team making the Western Conference Finals, period. Because let me explain real quick,
Okay.
and I know you have a lot to say about this. One, I don't think the Clippers are beating the Mavericks.
They should be down 0-2 right now.
They can't guard Luka. Paul George cannot stay in front of Luka, and they have absolutely nothing for Kristaps Porzingis.
Well, let me in on that. KP getting ejected was fucking terrible.
Bullshit. He should have had his first technical.
The second tech, I could see it being a tech, but the first one was trash. Melo did the same thing in the Lakers-Blazers game, and they didn't call anything. They should be down 0-2. But the Clippers brag about all these wing defenders they have. So why was it clutch time last night and fucking Lou Williams is the one guarding Luka?
Yeah.
What?
I don't understand how Kawhi is not on him. Paul George cannot guard him. George cannot guard Luka.
No.
You got to put Kawhi on him. Okay? Now this is the series to watch right now.
Oh, dude, I love it.
This is the series to watch right now. And then here's my thing. The Lakers are down 1-0 to Portland. I got Portland in 7. I only say Portland in 7 because of how bad the Lakers are offensively right now. 93 points.
You used to want the Lakers to win after Kobe died. I'm just saying.
I did.
Now you're telling them to run them out of the damn gym.
I did. I don't like LeBron. I don't like LeBron. And even though he won, I'm thankful for what he did for Cleveland winning that championship. Even though I will acknowledge he's one of the greatest players ever, I don't like him. He's almost thinks he's better than everyone to me, and that's just
he definitely does.
That's just my opinion, and it's just gotten to be to the point where I'm just like, dude, fuck you.
I've never really liked him. I just tolerate him now because his success goes to my team's success.
Exactly. You're a Lakers fan. I was a Cavs fan. If we're winning, we're winning. Everything else don't matter.
Right.
But let me just say this: I still have Portland in 7, but it would be easy for the Lakers to win this series. No one can guard AD. But here's where the Lakers are fucking up. Okay. You got to get away from 2 bigs because when Portland puts in Nurkic and Whiteside, the Lakers can't finish at the rim. LeBron can't get to the rim. Whiteside doesn't allow it. So they have got to get the Blazers to not play
they have to get
Nurkic and Whiteside at the same time because you're not getting to the rim.
And the way you do that is you get a lead out to where they feel like they need
spacing. But if you can give the Lakers spacing and they can't hit shots, they're just gonna say, all right, here, Melo, Dame, and CJ, you guys go to work. You other two to get under the fucking rim.
In a normal world, in a game 1, if we had just came off of a normal season, like we had said, and the Lakers shot like that, I'd be like, all right, bad shooting night, whatever. I think they'll get it. I still think they have what it takes to win the series, but
if they play the right people.
Well, and what the fuck is Frank Vogel doing, dude? Kuzma.
He took out Kuzma for.
But dude, it's because Anthony Davis is fucking soft. He doesn't want to play the 5. It's not. He hasn't said it like on record. But they took out Kuzma, hit like a tough ass layup to get a 6-point lead. I think 4 or 5 minutes left in the fourth. A run's going, things are going good. Vogel takes him out and puts in KCP to come back because AD doesn't want to slide down to the 5.
Yeah.
And dude, AD is one of the most skilled big men I have ever seen in my life. But that motherfucker does not know how to balance his own body. He's always on the floor. But I think he's fucking soft, dude. Get in there and play the 5 and bang it out.
I tell you
where
I like what the Lakers did. Dwight Howard getting in there and wanted to play bully ball.
Yes.
He wanted to get physical, and I think when they got physical, the Lakers have the advantage.
That's when when things started to turn around
So
after the game started
I
so
really
bad
think
for him.
Dwight Howard needs to see the floor a little bit more. My biggest thing is this: the Lakers lose tonight, I think they might be done. I don't see them coming back from 2-0. Because I keep going back to the fact that the Blazers starting five is better than the Lakers starting five, even though you have two top 5 players. Dame is playing insane,
and he didn't even do anything that crazy.
No, and that's the big thing.
They held him in check.
Dame was he had 36, but Dame was silent the third quarter, and then
completely gone
inside the last 5 minutes. Dame. So that's the thing. And here's my biggest takeaway. I don't think the Clippers are getting past the Mavericks. I just don't see it.
I would love nothing more.
I don't see it unless Kawhi starts guarding Luka and going crazy, and they start scoring more points.
Why the fuck was Lou Williams on Luka when it mattered last night?
And then my other thing is this: even if the Lakers beat the Blazers, they're going to run up against my team, the team that's coming out of the West this year. Now, the Houston Rockets.
I'm not scared of Houston at all.
The Lakers can't score, and what do the Rockets do? You can put LeBron and AD on Harden, and he's still going to score.
I mean, yeah,
and they're winning without Westbrook. I
against
know they're
OKC,
small.
who had like a 2% chance.
Oh, come on. OKC's a very solid team.
They're all right.
They are a very solid team.
But I mean, maybe I just don't. Who do they bring in when they go big? Let's say that AD is just completely killing them. Who comes in and checks him?
Who, AD?
Yeah.
But that's the thing with they're playing small ball and it's working. But I'm not saying that, but we said the same thing going into the Blazers game. All right, who's checking AD? But then you just said AD's soft as fuck. He don't even go under the rim.
That's another issue.
So if he won't go under the rim and get the rebounds, why does it matter?
Well,
I ask you that. Yeah, you ask me who's going to guard AD. Nobody. Who's going to guard James Harden one-on-one?
I fucking hate James Harden, dude.
He is, dude.
The refs put their whistles in their mouths as soon as he touches the ball. Dude, it ain't even been that,
dude. He's been legitimately the best player.
Officiating's been terrible across the board, by the way, in all games.
But James Harden is an absolute dude, and he's just proving. He's just proving all dude. Houston, there's something with them right now. There's something about Houston right now, and they're able to do it right now without Westbrook, and that's my new thing right now. I think it's going to be Houston and the Raptors.
And the Lakers' problem the other night, and I hope it doesn't continue tonight, but was the problem that you've seen with every LeBron team since he left Miami. If they're not hitting shots, they're fucked.
Yep.
If they hit half of the threes, not even half. That's not 50%. I'm just saying they hit 5 more threes in that game that were wide open. They should have won.
Yeah.
But what the fuck?
Here's my biggest thing, and this has been said for years. Within 5 minutes, what did Dame say? Dame goes, "I'm gonna go win this game. I'm putting this. I'm gonna shoot it from fucking half court, and I'm gonna make it." Dame took it into his own hands. What did LeBron do in the 5 minutes? He had 2 turnovers. And he doesn't shoot the ball.
He shouldn't shoot the ball. He should drive the rim. His jumper hasn't been working.
I've been preaching that for years.
He needs to just. I just don't. I don't get why he
Anthony
gets
Davis has to step up tonight, man.
Well, because
and the supporting cast. LeBron's going to be LeBron.
Him not wanting to play the 5 is soft as fuck. Don't get me wrong, but okay, if that's how it is, whatever. But why does he keep settling for these mid-range jumpers? And you're still a 4. You're not a stretch 4. He's a 4. Get on the fucking block.
Right.
Get the ball in there and
nobody can guard you right there.
And
what
then work
doing?
your way
right.
outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Whiteside on you now.
He's wanting to play like a 3.
Yeah, and he's not. Okay, so get your work inside. Make him bring in Nurkic or Whiteside to put on you because you're killing them inside. And then if you want to work your way out and try to stretch it and get them out of position because they're bigger guys, then do that. He's starting his game trying to hit turnaround jumpers from the wing. And I don't get it.
He's playing like a 3 instead of a 4. And like you said, and then he doesn't want nothing to do with the 5. Doesn't it scare you when Nurkic? God, I can't say this guy. Nurkic and Whiteside is on the floor together.
Yeah, because he won't go to the 5, so you got to bring in.
And Whiteside blocks everything, which only affects LeBron.
And you got to bring in JaVale McGee or Dwight.
Yeah,
Dwight.
Yeah,
and it should be Dwight. And that McGee played all right, but it's just. Obviously, the shooting was a huge issue, but what the fuck's Vogel doing, man? Honestly, he needs to be like, hey, man, Kuzma's staying in. You're going to the 5. I coach this fucking team. Or if you refuse to go, but the thing is, he's a free agent. They're kissing ass.
Yeah, they have to.
If he was locked up for 3 or 4 years, he'd probably be more likely to be like, well, fuck you, you're playing the 5, we got to win this game.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but there's been a lot of rumblings about him just not wanting to play the 5, and that sours me on him quite a bit because it's like you should do whatever it takes to win the game. There's no reason, and it's not like Kuzma was crazy on fire, but he came in, a run started, you got a 6-point lead, and then you got to bring in KCP who finished the game with 1 point.
Terrible. He looked just terrible.
Awful.
I don't
How could
understand.
JR be worse than him?
Yeah, how is JR not getting those minutes is beyond me.
How could JR
that is
Smith
fucking crazy. And in my opinion, JR plays better defense.
How the fuck could Vogel could have been at halftime, but like KCP's playing like dog shit. Literally doing nothing. Horrible. How is J.R. Smith or Dion Waiters even going to come in and do worse than that?
JR and the only other player on the Lakers that can create their own basket, in my opinion, right now is Dion Waiters.
Yeah. That's why he was brought in.
Right.
And he played pretty good in the seeding games.
Yeah, I thought he's played great since he's been a Laker.
Which is weird because I was like, okay, he did that once and now he'll be disappeared for 10 games. But why the fuck aren't these guys playing? Dude, you cannot tell me.
And they're missing Rondo. I mean, you don't like Rondo, but they are.
Well, I said that
Takes a lot of pressure off LeBron.
I said that on Twitter the other night. I actually said I think I was wrong and the Lakers need Rondo back. He's questionable tonight.
He's not going to play tonight,
but I don't think he plays.
He might play 3. So okay.
Because everything ran a lot better with a point guard on the floor.
Yeah.
And when LeBron, because I mean, even Waiters, he's
LeBron's
got to
take a break every now and then, you know. All right,
well, fuck that. He's played fucking 45 minutes a game your whole career.
What I mean by break is off ball.
Oh yeah.
You don't need to bring the ball up every time, especially if they just get in his face and start pressuring him. All right, so if the Lakers lose tonight and go down 2-0, how scared are you?
Oh, I'll be terrified if they go down 2-0.
If they go down 2-0, do they win? Do they win the series? Maybe if they get Rondo back.
I don't know. I mean,
I wouldn't want to go down 2-0 to this team.
I wouldn't want to go down 2-0 to him either. I mean, it all depends on the shooting, man. I feel like if they could have just shot the ball marginally better, they probably would have won. I mean, if this is if this is the LeBron you're going to get, if he's going to put up those kind of numbers, which I can't complain about those. I can't complain about the game he had, and people are going to make shots. We'll be good. I want nothing more. If the Lakers come out and they shoot lights out and they shoot 35, 40% from 3, blah, 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 I think they win. If they go down 0-2, I think they lose in 7.
But with that being said.
Or less, maybe 6.
With that being said, though, we keep talking about how bad the Lakers shooting was. The Blazers didn't shoot well neither. Like I said.
No, because the Lakers are a good defensive team.
Yeah, but they are. And I agree. But you didn't get a whole lot out of CJ. You didn't get a whole lot out of Melo. You had Dame Lillard with a very quiet third. You got to understand, too, that they're not always going to play that bad. There's going to be some nights McCollum you can't guard him. I mean, it's not like Dame, but there's nights you can't guard McCollum.
He's not going to do that game,
but. And then Melo's been balling his ass off, and he didn't play that great. I just think – so here's my thing. When the Lakers needed game 1 because it was 100-93, that's a Lakers game.
Yeah.
That's a game the Lakers keep you low, they score more, they win. When you get into a Blazers game, you're getting to the 120-point range. Okay, and then that becomes a Blazers game.
Right.
So the Blazers only score 100, and I know the Lakers have great defense, absolutely, and I agree. But sometimes you just can't guard stars. They're going to get theirs, and that's just the way it is. I just think that if they go down 2-0, they're in trouble.
They're definitely in trouble. I mean, but I said, I don't know if I said no because last time we recorded the playoffs weren't even set, but we were talking, we were playing the video game or something. I said I don't think there's any way the Lakers win game 1. I said I think they win the series, but I don't think they win game 1, and that's exactly what happened. But that
was their game to win, though. Without everything being said,
it should have been their game.
That should have been their game
Absolutely.
Because of the score.
Absolutely, they got to hit shots, but I think. Man, I was pissed the other night, but I just think that I think they can bother Dame enough to where, like, it's just like
the dude's pulling up from half court and making it. They're fucking playing him 40 feet from the rim.
Yeah,
I mean, some people you just can't stop.
Those aren't. He'll hit like one of those games. Those aren't going to fall
constantly hitting them.
Yeah, I mean, he does it a couple times a game to get a run going and shit and spark it, but he doesn't.
They are giving him the hardened fucking Steph Curry fucking treatment. They're picking him up so early.
Dame's better than Steph Curry.
Oh, I'll take absolutely.
But not to go off on a tangent there, but I feel like if you can shut him down for a quarter like that, bother him, 36 is a hell of a game, but it's not because he didn't play anybody.
He went 9 for 20. He played 9 for 20, but you can't let him be close because he is the player that wants the shot. That's and I'm not trying to compare him to LeBron by any means because we all know LeBron don't want the shot, but that's the thing with Dame. He wants the ball.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to be like, all right, I just made that shot to win it. And everybody knows he's getting the ball. And so that last 5 minutes when he took over, it was just typical Dame Dollar.
Yeah, and they fucked up because they took out Kuzma, whose length could have helped.
That's Vogel's fault.
Kuzma's not an elite defender by any means, but his length would have been. Dude, KCP just fucking sucks. And
I don't think you're going to see much of him tonight.
I don't know. He should be fucking.
That's what I want to see.
They should take him to the edge of the bubble, wherever it stops, and fucking throw him across it so he has to quarantine, dude. Fuck that dude.
I want to see what that starting lineup is tonight. Is KCP still in it?
Dude, I would start fucking Caruso over him.
I like Caruso with
Caruso
the second
sparks
team.
runs.
Yeah,
but
I like Caruso on the second team. I like to see like a Caruso Waiters with there.
Yes.
But I do think that I would start I would start J.R. Smith tonight.
I don't know what I mean.
You're getting defense out of JR. You're getting shooting.
He didn't look great in the seeding games, but he didn't look bad. It got to the point.
JR hits big shots.
It got to the point last game where it was just like they literally can't play worse. So just get him the fuck out and try somebody else. Like it cannot get worse than Waiters. It couldn't have got much worse than Danny Green.
Yeah.
So let JR go spot up. Yeah. Fuck it. See if his shot's falling.
Right.
What do you have to lose? You're not getting shit out of him.
Right. And it's only one game, so if you go down, at least you're trying other shit. All right.
Fuck Frank Vogel.
So let's go to another team. The Bucks lose game 1 to the fucking Orlando Magic.
Dude, that was weird.
Vucevic, holy shit!
You've got your
they
MVP.
play. What time is it? They play right here in a couple minutes at 6:00. Or I'm sorry, here in 40 minutes. That's game 2. That's going to be an interesting one.
They did that without like Aaron Gordon too.
Yeah,
and Evan Fournier didn't hit a bucket until like the third quarter.
Vucevic, dude, was going.
Vucevic was killing him. That was so fucking weird because I'm sitting here watching an NBA playoff game at 1:30 in the afternoon, featuring who I think is going to be the league MVP again, and they like. The Magic are the worst team left.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck happened?
Well, I think the Magic are better in Brooklyn, even though
I don't know, man. Brooklyn's been hanging.
It's just a good team. You know, imagine Karis LeVert when he gets fucking KD and Kyrie.
Oh, dude, they're gonna be a problem.
Whoever wins this year, you better win it this year because the Nets are going to be a team to fuck with. Just a little update here. 4:50 left in the third, and Houston is up 69-64 on OKC.
Nice.
So let's stay right there in LA. The Clippers. You haven't got to say much on this, but
fuck the Clippers.
My opinion is, and let's do an unbiased opinion here.
It's gonna be hard. I fucking
obviously I've said they can't stay in front of Luka. Nobody can guard Porzingis. I've switched to where I don't think either LA team makes the Western Conference Finals, and I'm also saying I think that the Clippers are getting bounced. Because, and I said this weeks ago, I said watch out for the Mavs.
Oh, yeah.
Just because Luka's a different breed.
I said that was going to be a fun
Sometimes
series.
you have stars and superstars, but then sometimes you just have these rare, just special dudes. And Luka is one of those dudes that's better than a superstar.
And his mom is hot.
He hits shots. He gets to the rim. You can't stay in front of him. And the duo of him and Porzingis is just, it's magic. I think that they are a year away because I think they need one more big player. I think they need one more big player to go with those two, and I think that they would have they'd be making a run in the West. So I don't think they win it all this year. I think that the Rockets come out of the West now. But to the Clippers, there's a lot of big names there, but it's like I don't know what's going on there.
This is my thing. For one, they should be down 0-2, as we kind of said earlier. That first technical on Porzingis in that game was fucking soft.
That being said,
they win that game.
We don't know how the rest of the game goes.
KP was cooking them.
I know, but we don't know how the rest of that game goes.
I would think that they did, but okay, it's tied 1-1, and I'm saying fuck a lot of people do. Fuck Skip Bayless. he lost it. I used to love Skip Bayless, but he's selling out for shock value. But he's saying, well, this is because the Clippers only had their full roster playing together for 13 games, so they're just learning how to deal with each other.
Well, he don't want LeBron to win.
So much that he used to hate Kawhi so much.
Likes Kawhi again, yeah.
But my thing with that is, whose fault is that? I know there were some injuries, but load management left and right. Paul George is load managing. Kawhi's load managing. Kawhi's not playing back-to-back. So if they don't have that chemistry, that's kind of on them. So I don't want to hear that.
They
as an
need
excuse.
a big, man. I mean,
But that's
I
the
like
thing.
Zubac, but
Zubac's solid.
I
But,
like Harrell. They're just not very big.
well, and Harrell, he's a big that can go score 20, but he's not going to come D a KP or an AD.
Right.
He's not going to come defend that guy and shut him down. And that's what I've been saying about him the whole time, because dude, Steve Ballmer is a fucking billionaire. He owns Microsoft or some shit or whatever the fuck he owns. He 1,000%, and you might think I'm crazy because it's a Lakers fan. I'm a Lakers fan. He has the media on a payroll. He has like fucking Woj and Ramona Shelburne, who used to be a big Lakers girl, like on a payroll or something, because nobody gives a fuck. If the Lakers lose to the Blazers and the fucking sky is falling,
Well,
and
that's
the
the
Clippers
media.
lose, and but because Ballmer's got them on a fucking
Yeah,
payroll.
but I'm just saying that's the media now. That's like you don't hear certain bad things about some people, and you hear great things about the other here. If you know where I'm going with that.
Yeah,
That's just
let's
the
do
media
it. Let's
in
go off the rails. Fuck Joe Biden.
general.
Fuck everybody, dude. I'm calling everybody. If I don't like you, fuck you. Joe Biden,
What
you're
about
fucking
Joe?
idiot.
What about Joe's hoe?
Oh my, she's a whore.
All right, but yeah. So
Yeah, we just kinda fucking broke
Lakers
shit,
tonight at 9. Lakers Blazers game 2.
I'll live tweet it, and you guys can see how pissed I get.
But yeah, I'm excited. We got some playoff ball. Obviously, you know this now, and even though we're into the, we've talked about this on a daily. Even though we're in the playoffs, viewership is down big time in the NBA. Down big time.
I hadn't really seen, I guess, since the playoffs came down.
They're still down. I mean, each game's not even getting 2 million views, which is even like the Lakers games. Super weird, but that viewership is down. I don't know. I just think it could be too. People were out doing shit. So who knows?
Is it the bubble? I know there's a lot of political shows that are getting a lot of looks, but my thing is, for the political argument, fuck it. We already said fuck Joe Biden. So I just didn't think, and I could be completely wrong, that the target audience of the NBA would be the type of person that cared so much about the political side of what's going on there that they would turn it off. Like I didn't think the NBA's demographic was the hardcore political person anyway. I thought it was more like younger people.
Right.
Like I don't know too many like older dudes that really sit down and watch the NBA.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
it is weird. Their numbers are way down.
Well, a lot of the older people too, like college ball. Like you go to a UD game, for instance, like
there's old people everywhere. Dude, there's
old
fucking
people
just
everywhere.
old money, dude. Old rich people
I
everywhere.
mean, you sit there like, dude, that dude has to be loaded.
Yeah, for sure. His girlfriend's like 35. But I mean, yeah, the viewership's down. I've watched a lot. I mean, like I said, I don't give a fuck what the court says or anything. I can agree or disagree with players' political views, the league's political views, whatever. But I just have to separate them enough to where I can watch sport. I can't just not watch a sport because of politics.
I'm never not
going
to
do it.
Right, I'm never going to watch never going to watch a sport and put my political views into it because that's what takes me away from the political views is sports. But when you do add political views to the players and it's just thrown in your face nonstop on the court, on the mound, on Twitter, wherever it's thrown in, I mean, eventually you're kind of like, man, you can understand why people don't want to watch sports now.
Yeah, because they go to it to get away from that.
You're right. You could turn on Fox or CBS or fucking OAN or wherever and watch something political, or turn on sports and watch political. People don't.
I'd still
want that.
pick sports.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But people don't want that. It's like if I wanted to watch a political show, I would turn on. I would turn on show.
CNN or whatever.
If I don't want to watch a political show when I turn on sports, and I
Fuck
understand
CNN.
the people that are saying that.
No, yeah, I totally
understand that people have a platform. I understand that, but when it's just thrown in your face, eventually people are just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just not going to watch anything.
Yeah, I understand. I don't think I could ever personally get to that point, but I do understand being able to get to that point, dude, because this shit does, like, not this side or that side. Dude, this political shit gets fucking exhausting.
It does get exhausting, just like the fucking coronavirus gets exhausting. You know, we always said when we came in here into the locker room that we weren't going to go there, but you know what? Fuck that. If it's
Fuck
got,
you, Fauci.
I mean, if it's got to be thrown in our face on everything, it don't matter what you're watching.
We're throwing it in yours,
You can watch
motherfuckers.
fucking the soap operas on at fucking noon, and you're going to see something political come across the fucking screen. You know, so it is what it is. This is where we're at. I guess this is where we're at. You know, and you got two parties going at it and can't agree shit. Send me my $1,200, motherfuckers. I mean, but you know,
so, where's that second round of that shit?
But this is where we're at. So obviously, we won't say sides here. I'm sure everybody knows if you watch our Facebooks and Twitters, you know where we're at with this shit. But but back on that though, dude. I don't want to. And I'm to that point too. It's just like, listen, I love sports. I love them. I love them more than most things in this world. And it's a great feeling to just turn on the TV and watch sports. But I'm getting sick and tired of seeing the political bullshit.
Yeah.
If there's a problem, I understand that there's a problem. Like on some shit, you know, it's just like, if you want to do it on Twitter, I understand that.
You've got enough social media reach.
You don't have to just throw it in our face every time we turn on the fucking TV.
Yeah, like the kneeling thing. I get it. It's not about the troops. It's not about the flags, whatever. Okay, cool. But it can stop there. But it just keeps getting pushed further and further.
But here's my thing with it. You know that the kneeling is going to separate two sides, right?
Oh, for sure.
You're going to cut people
It's
right down the middle.
For
so
sure.
here's what you do. Don't fucking air it. Don't air it. Like, don't show people what's going on, but no.
Division sells, baby.
That's the media. This is what we come. This all comes back to the Lakers and Clippers. You know, because when the Lakers lose, the fucking world's ending, and when the Clippers don't, it's just a game. You know what I mean? But this is because this is what they want. What want you to see. You know, so that's the way it is. You know, so now the world's making you take a side.
Yeah, and you're getting forced, and now it is going into something else I wanted to talk about. The Big Ten is just a fucking mess. Nobody knows what they're talking about now. Like,
the Big Ten needs to just be fucking blown up. If I was Ohio State and Michigan and them, I would fucking just leave.
So listen to this, though. Kevin Warren, the Big Ten commissioner, is canceling the season because it's not safe to play, but his son plays at Mississippi State, and he is on record saying that he's going to play because it's a personal family decision. If it's a personal family decision, let the motherfuckers in the Big Ten make it.
He's made to look like an idiot right now.
He needs gone.
Yeah, that's what I said. And what is the Big Ten going to do when Ohio State and Iowa and Penn State and Michigan and fucking all these big teams just leave and then they're fucking out?
They're going to be like the fucking
That's what they should do. And that's what they should do because, and I'm going to go on record to say this, and the Big Ten's came out twice and saying that they're not doing it for the season. And we might not see the Big Ten this year, but I'm going to say it on record here. Fuck it. We're on air here. I think that we are seeing Ohio State and Michigan football this year in the fall.
The new rumor going around now is that there's like 5 teams right now that are in Ohio State, Michigan.
They're going to play a home and away,
a home and home. So we're going to get 2 Michigan Ohio State games this year. That's weird.
I'll take it. Fuck, why not?
I'll definitely take it, but that gets to the point where it's like the Pee Wee season that the team I coach is going into. Yeah, we're going to get some games, but there's no championship. There's no Big Ten championship. So it's like, what are you playing for? I think guys might opt out of that. Why?
I don't know. I don't know. It just depends on how it would be looked at as far as, you know, could they still play a national championship playoff format? You know, say they do that. Say 5 teams and you get 10 games, or 6 teams you get 10 games, however. And Ohio State or Michigan or Penn State, one of them goes 10-0.
Right.
And say somebody over in the SEC goes 10-0 and somebody in the ACC, and you add one more, you could still have a playoff format.
Yeah, well, the college football playoff, I think, is still a go. It's just not going to. But
just the Big Ten.
But how do you? But then the person that comes out of the Big Ten is then going to be put in the position of no conference championship. And conference championships matter based on if Alabama has.
But
one
it does. But if you're playing a home and away, you're gonna run into that team twice anyway.
Well, no, but I'm saying in terms of getting into the college football
don't
playoff.
You kind of go as in a Notre Dame? Because Notre Dame don't play conference championships, right? Or do they play?
No, they don't, and that's why they make it every now and then.
Right, so.
But they've made it, I think, once or twice.
They've made it once, but
I just don't know how they look at that, because they're going to say
you need a conference championship.
But they're going to. I feel like the committee's going to be like, well, you played the same teams
Yeah, but
what do you get for beating Indiana twice?
A Big Ten is the Power Five. Well, yeah, but what do you get for beating Penn State twice? And what do you get from beating Michigan twice? And you get from beating. I mean, there's good teams. I mean, there's good teams, and if you beat them twice.
Well, and as we know, when it comes to the committee, whether or not you have a conference championship matters differently every year. Yeah. If Alabama has one, it matters. If Alabama doesn't have one, it doesn't matter. So, I mean, I want to see Michigan play football this year so Jim Harbaugh can piss me off all season.
Not only that, man. I mean, fucking look. Governor DeWine just came out.
Fuck Mike DeWine, too.
DeWine. He just came out and said there's going to be high school football. You coach Pee Wee, there's Pee Wee football. So you mean to tell me there's Pee Wee football, there's high school football, there's junior high football, there's pros, and the only thing getting left out is Ohio State.
Probably the biggest team in Ohio.
Absolutely the biggest team in Ohio. That's why I think Ohio State plays football this season.
Oh no, they absolutely can. If they can play independent from the conference on their own, however they do it, they'll definitely suit up and play football.
People aren't afraid of a fucking virus with a survival rate of 99.8%. This ain't even affecting these fucking kids. This shit is so fucking played. It's so overplayed. It's nothing but politics. That is the only reason why we are where we are. We know there's going to be positive tests. We've said that several times, but it's not killing anybody. The deaths just continue to plummet. This virus isn't shit unless you have a health problem or you're elderly. But then those people should stay home. But that isn't a football player. A football player, one, they're in great shape. Two, they're not old. You know what I'm saying? And three, if they're playing football, good chance they don't have a different health problem.
And they're going to be tested constantly.
And they're going to be tested nonstop. There's no reason not to play football. Absolutely no reason.
They want to be able to say, I think it's people from a certain political party, and they want us Midwest people that love football and care so much about football, they want to make it look like we need to blame a certain political person that we don't have football this year.
Listen, it's exactly what it is. I mean,
that's what it is.
Let's just be real. Nobody else is going to say when it's real. And then I hate and look at the people that believe in the coronavirus. Click on their fucking profile picture. I've done that, dude, and I'm just I'm not even getting into it. Look at their fucking profile picture.
Well, I believe in it. I believe it's real, but I don't believe that it's worth all this.
It ain't going to affect none of these fucking Ohio State players.
It affected, dude. Somebody that I know and love very dearly to me has had heart surgery.
Tell
surgeries.
The whole story.
It's my dad. My dad had triple bypass surgery December 2018. 3 new heart arteries, heart problems. March, right when this shit started up, had I think about 25 to 30% of his lung removed because he had lung cancer and he beat it. And then he got a positive COVID result and felt nothing. So that tells me he got a false
and
positive.
His age is?
He's 62.
So 62.
He's the definition of what they said high risk was.
Absolutely.
And 2 weeks later was negative.
And not one symptom.
It's because
Thank God, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank God the cancer's gone. Thank God that he, that
he's back. He's Terry G now. He's good.
Thank God he didn't have any symptoms. Thank God for all that. But that just goes to show you. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's because
I'm sure he wants nothing more than to let these motherfuckers play football. He went to Ohio State.
He's crushed because of no Ohio State. But my whole point to that is it's one of two things. Either it's not as bad as they say it is, or B, which the one that I think and he thinks it was, he got a false positive.
Much like our governor.
They don't. Well, that's because Mike DeWine was scared Daddy Trump was coming, but. So they don't ever correct the fake numbers either. They're like, oh, yeah, we fucked up. But they don't release any new data that shows it. They're just like, oh, yeah, whoops.
And all they're going to do is take DeWine's fake positive and put it into the positive pool.
Right. It doesn't come out.
It's so fucking
insane.
Crazy, man. I mean, we could go and we could talk about this for days, but I'm ready for some playoff football. I'm ready to get home and watch. Playoff basketball. I'm ready to get home and watch some playoff basketball.
Yeah, and wholeheartedly, for the political and coronavirus stuff that we went into, wholeheartedly, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, fuck Mike DeWine. Forever. So I think that's probably about all we got for you guys today.
Right, and don't forget to vote.
And don't forget to vote in fucking person, because I'm not even going to go there. But yes, so we will be back in next week with more NBA playoff updates. Maybe do some division previews. I don't know if we got to
get
today.
Some football, man. We're getting close.
And if you're a fan of any NFL team, get with us. Find out when we're going to talk about your division. Call in. Give us what you think.
Even if you want to call in and tell us, because we've had enough of this shit. If everyone else can show their political side, so can we. So if you want to call in and you want to talk about how fucked up the coronavirus is or how Ohio State needs to play football or whatever, call in and let's talk about it.
I know exactly who we need to call. We're in a group chat with him. We talk to him every day. But, yeah, call in about anything. Fuck it, dude. We're going off the rails. So we'll be back in next week. Fuck the Clippers. Fuck Mike DeWine. And fuck everybody else that I said fuck today.